Yo, what up, old habits? Burger Times, Mad, AP95. Stupid, what up? Hey, man, Aldo. Yo, yo, what's up? I'm trying to see how to do this best. I might pull up two screens side by side. Let's get the spy down here. Yo, yo, Chucky. All right, I talked about this on the last stream. I'm going to update it again. So, this is the current spots indicator here. Let me go ahead and bring these spots in. I take them out sometimes, but this, you can see them here too. Yeah, we can zoom out a little bit. So we actually haven't crossed yet. You can like really zoom in here on the daily chart, and you can see that we're close. We still haven't crossed, but I mean, look at how close. Look at how close that is, bro. Right here. We crossed in January. It was a clear cross on that third day. So if we like, I'm still comparing these two because I think they're extremely similar. And, we've been using indicators, we've been using the POIs here to understand where we are in the cycle. And there's a clear correlation here. I mean, you can see on both charts the structure of AMC. Okay, one way to make this a little easier to track. All right. We got a little M pattern happening. And then it goes up. Same thing down here. Yeah, I mean, I know most of you get this, most of you understand, but it's so similar, bro. It's like, it's too similar. You can't ignore it. It keeps tracking. I mean, just think about it this way. You could have been that dude tracking this from way back here, just tracking the whole sequence up to this point. So why give up now? That's kind of the way I look at things I remain skeptical, but when a pattern keeps tracking, and especially when it's tracking for a long time, the dates line up, everything lines up. Like, this is the same time, roughly the same time we're dealing with here. Bar patterns on the daily chart is very similar. So it's just kind of, I'm looking at it that way, man. Like, okay, so we don't have that blue spot yet, right? But I think it's coming. I think it's coming in the next couple of days. The SPY is starting to turn around. We have AMC starting to push back up. as far as the rally that comes next, that's the thumbnail on this video, is there on purpose for a couple of reasons, but there's like a couple of different ways we can look at this here. So we have developing right now, we're in this parallel channel. Make sure you guys are actually seeing this though. Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, so we are currently in this parallel channel. This parallel channel runs all the way from December of 2021. All right, so this is a whole year that we're dealing with here inside of this parallel channel. All right, this is just one parallel channel. With parallel channels, very simple. It's you have your resistance and your support trend line. They're parallel to each other, and you basically are bouncing off of those walls back and forth. That is what's happening. Now this one is definitely extending, so it's getting bigger as time goes by, and that's the structure we have so far. Within a parallel channel, you also have this mid phase right in the middle, and that's normally, like, if you guys look at volume profile, I would compare it like in a similar way. For just looking at TA, this would be considered maybe like a point of control. You can't see it with the moving average, but normally that is a level in which price will be rejected or cut through very quickly to go into the next phase. Now, if I pull up the parallel zone that we have dating back from 2020, which is the one that we gravitate back into every year, that one's a little different, and you can see that these guys on the volatility zones, those will be rejected as well. So this next push up, not only do we have a parallel channel, we also have a wedge. This is an ascending or descending Browning wedge. No, ascending Browning wedge. Yeah. So this guy right here, you also saw in the thumbnail, these little guys, right? And we have this massive push to the upside. So the reason why we can, this is also something that supports, and I was going to make this on part 2 video, which is not out yet, but I was going to talk about the cycle and cycle rotation. So this is actually part 3. I'm sorry. Part 3 was going to talk about the TA part of it and sort of talking about the setup that we're currently in, which is this wedge, bro. You call it, this could really be a lot of things from a TA perspective, but dude. So if we're climbing up fast, we're about to cross this spot indicator here, spot curve on the daily chart. So the next step here is to come towards this mid phase here on the parallel channel, which is the $8 level. Once we get there, this is where we pull a march, where we just cut through and come all the way up, or we trade sideways here for a little bit, for a week or two, and then we start climbing back up to hit that range here at 12 bucks. Okay, that's 12 is first. If we cut through the parallel channel, then we're dealing with something else, and that is where we talk about this massive AMC chart. Hold up. Spots. Actually, let's take away spots. Let's just pull up the zone. Here we go. And by the way, if you've been tracking AMC with us here, this has been the projection, all right, from the 3rd of January, all right? This has been the projection that we have, and look at how we're just riding right in between that line. At some point, and this is like when we rally and I draw those elephant trunks, right? But this is, this projection that I had here was carefully put in place with what the cycle was going to do. Now, when you start gravitating into this zone, this is where you can see that speed really kick off and push us through this range, because there's actually, so there's a small wedge that we're in right now, and part of the reason why this is where it's at, where it goes all the way up to 25, the reason this is there is because we have a small wedge here, but we also have a bigger one here. So that's another one, and this one kind of goes a little bit more with that parallel channel that I just drew on the other chart. But also, this goes with that fractal that we're looking at, that bar pattern that we have back here. And you can see that as soon as we go into that support channel, which is this red channel right here, it typically goes through all of them, which is the parallel and the volatility zone before coming down. Also, most charts don't show this, but if you have any other broker that is not a charting system like TradingView, or I even think Webull has the same scaling too. But if you, for me, I use Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, and their chart shows a massive gap right here on the ape launch, right? So AMC actually trades like this, and then there's a massive gap here, and then the chart follows, starts coming down, does something like this. So obviously that chart looks interesting for like a not always are we going to come back and fill gaps, but the fact that that chart itself is showing a massive gap there would kind of go with this thesis here that we climb up to this level and fill that gap. It's another way to look at it, but so anyways, I'll let you guys know whenever this stops tracking, but right now we're looking pretty good. I don't see any reason we start coming back down. So the way I'm looking at AMC right now, so AMC, you have to remember, it's a meme stock. GameStop is a meme stock. Tilray is a meme stock. Nikola is a meme stock. I mean, these are all stocks in the Wall Street bet, like Reddit. Like those guys are going to be grouped together. They're going to be stocks that these guys are going to manipulate, push out, and have retail come in. Now, the whole thing here is that why we see drastic runs followed by drastic, so pump and dumps. The problem here is, so these are used for liquidity in the market, and we know that. We all know that. The problem here is when you get over leveraged, that is where you get into this sticky situation as a hedge fund, because you're pumping a stock and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to make some money now. I'm going to dump it and have retail trade this stock and believe that it's going to go up to $1 million or whatever. That's their goal here. They're pushing out this narrative. They want people to come in on the stock. They'll trade it sideways. They'll burn those data on contracts, option contracts. They'll bring it down, and they'll just keep hyping you up, right, until they bring it down to levels that we've never seen before, which is something they've successfully done here. The problem here is there does come a point where you can be extremely over-leveraged, and as a hedge fund, you're going to see if you can't stop that volume. This is why we talk about the projector pattern, that it's very important that once we reach that level, if these guys cannot stop this volume, suppress this volume, they're in trouble at that point. And that's why this play is so important, is because there's so many people in on this play. It's not like a regular meme stock that we see on Reddit or just really anywhere. This has a different kind of community behind it. So that's why it's a little bit dangerous to anybody shorting it. So to that point, with these pumps that we get, we've been suppressed for over almost 2 years now. There's going to come a point here, and I talked about this on the Discord. There's a lot of different communities out there that think that we're going to go all the way back down to $1 or whatever. And even though that's a possibility, there is going to come a point where this thing is not going to go down forever. Like, I mean, unless you're one of those that think this is going to go down to a penny, shorts have to cover at some point. They have to release some of those shares. So you have to remember that just like the price comes up and reaches a level of resistance, it starts coming down. And, we can't just think that because we've came down in the past before that it's going to happen again. I mean, we're at low levels right now, and this thing can just keep pushing up without stopping. I'll give you an example of this. We just saw, and this was nonstop, dude. We just saw Mara do this. We saw crypto do this. One of the plays that we looked at on the Discord for a little while was Mara. Mara was tracked from the bottom as well at $3. Had the projection going up to $6. This thing went up to $8. Almost went up to $9. But this is a perfect example of that. Like, you're somebody, and Mara tends to do that here. Crypto tends to do this a lot. But if you're somebody that's like, yo, I'm at $3. Great, I went long. This thing just ran up 40%. And then you're like, all right, dude, this is like enough or whatever. You start shorting it here, and then it keeps going up. And then you're like, oh, dude, this thing just ran up 100%. I think this is a good spot to start shorting it back down. And then it keeps running, and it keeps running, and it keeps running. And, dude, we're literally up 200%. These are considered just breathers, very quick breathers. Even this one right here, it's starting to look like Mara's coming back up again. It did this back in November of 2021. When this happened, bro, shit was crazy. All right, Mara ran from $30 to 80. This was a massive bear trap. And this is what I'm talking about here in the markets is like there is going to come a point where there's not going to be that opportunity to keep going down for the people that think it's going to keep going down. There's going to come a point where that's not going to happen anymore. And dude, one way to do this, go on the weekly chart. All right, go on the weekly chart. Flip your chart. Change or flip your colors here on the bars. So if you saw this chart, just pretend it was an AMC or whatever, right? I mean, would you short it here? Like, would this be a comfortable place for you to short the chart? I mean, I would be like, yo, like this thing just came up and touched resistance very close. Sure, there's more resistance up here, but you have to remember that this is the lowest low. Like, are we following this massive dump here coming up? Are we going to keep going up to that range? At that point, we go up to $1. This thing is going to keep going down if we reach $1. This is why it's important here that AMC starts climbing up and we reach new levels of resistance or have some kind of a breather. And that is why we're tracking this too on this POI, because we're getting very close to just breaking down again. I mean, it's like fucking 1, 2, 3, 4. If it gets rejected, you already know how this works. Typically on that fourth test, it's very important. On the fourth test, if things don't break down again, you do get a massive rejection in the market. And that is basically what we're looking for here. We're looking for some kind of rejection. For those of you that are just getting in, remember, I just flipped the chart. I changed the bar. I flipped the bar colors here so you guys can clearly see. There we go. Structure. Awesome. There we go. Back to normal. Yeah, and we're also looking for news. News is crucial here. Oh, look at that. And there goes the SPY. SPY is climbing back up again. It's probably going to go green today, just with what it's doing now. So that's really good for AMC. I want to talk about the one of the patterns that we're currently tracking here. I didn't post this yesterday because I did want a little bit more confirmation, but it's looking like we're getting it. So let's pull up these two again. So I want you guys to watch this, the current levels that we're trading at, and we're going to draw some levels of support here. So we have this one here, which this could be the fake out. Take away spots. So it looks like we have a little fake out going on. So this is where we have our little dashed lines because we might come back into the channel. And now we're going to pull up Bed Bath & Beyond, which is actually down here for some reason. It's probably because we were looking at this yesterday. All right. Ready for this magic, bro? This is the 1 hour. Okay, cool. Okay, take a look at the structure of this. All right, what do we have? We have a small pump here, which we did have with Bed Bath & Beyond. And get this, Bed Bath & Beyond was trading at $4. It runs up to $6, trades sideways for a little bit, and then starts pumping again. And the second pump was pretty big. It ran from 6 to 12, so 100%. We have a similar structure here. We have $3. It goes up to $5.30, comes back down, and then rips to $7. And then we start climbing back down again. There's a little fake out here. It starts riding the wave back up before starting to climb up at the end of the week. Get this. This was Wednesday. Trade sideways for a little bit. It's trading sideways. We're starting to climb back up. If we come back into this channel here and we start riding this wave back up, Bed Bath & Beyond did it, and Bed Bath & Beyond has done it multiple times already. It's been very, it's a volatile stock, so you have to sort of apply this same measure here to AMC, because AMC is, we've experienced the same thing in the past before on these points of interest. And like I said, I mean, you have to understand that the pattern that is developing right now, sure, it can develop into different things. It can come up, trade sideways. We can have an arc pattern and it starts coming down. That is a possibility. But it's also a possibility that we do something like this too. And it is a expiration date tomorrow. Massive expiration date. Dude, there's so many options outside of the money, and so many in the money as well. This is where we tend to experience that volume coming in, that gamma pressure developing into and potentially rolling into the next expiration date next week, which can cause something like this. So yeah, pay attention to that, man. Like, this is very similar structure here. So I would say something like this is what. So they look a little different. They do. But we definitely have this like shake off phase here, which is just it's a fake out here for the bulls. It's a trap. Starts coming down, and then it also traps the bears as it keeps climbing up. AMC is looking pretty good today. It's only down 1.5%. It's starting to climb back up, so it's looking pretty good, and I wouldn't be opposed to this. So it is something we're tracking. Ethereum Classic is obviously something else we're tracking. And what did the markets do yesterday? Right, the crypto markets. We saw this with a bunch of stocks too. So it wasn't or cryptos. It wasn't just uh, Bitcoin that was doing this. And right now, yes, Ethereum Classic is struggling a little bit, but you have to pay attention to the other cryptos because they sort of take turns one by one. Yesterday, I was taking a look at the charts, and we had Mana. Yo. Or no, I'm sorry, it was BAT. Basic Attention Token. My dude, look at this fake out on Basic Attention Token. You have the entire market come down, and then this thing just says, nope. V reversal starts coming down, developing it to something else. So clearly got rejected on the way down. We saw this do it. We also saw a lot, man. Holy shit. It was insane yesterday how many like little squeezes we had happening. The other one was, let me see if I can pull it up. ENJ. Here's the other one. Dump, pump. We had a couple more do it. APT had some good, pretty nice action happening. There was many that did it. It wasn't just these two. But yeah, anyways, whatever happens with these cryptos, we're clearly tracking Ethereum Classic as closely related to what AMC does here. We track it because there is correlation, and you can't deny that at this point. That like the last 4 runs that we've had have all been predicted using Ethereum Classic. So it's a good way to know what we can experience next on AMC. We've seen it with the volume. So we can't deny that. And that's been helping, but there comes a level here when you're tracking Ethereum Classic where they do stray away from each other a little bit, and they kind of do their own thing on the way up. And we've seen that on the last 2 major runs. Yo, help me out here. Okay, so for example, the structure of this is different than AMC's, but the percentage is the same, right? It goes up about 120%. This goes up about 130. But the structure is different, right? Trade sideways, boom. This just kind of goes up and then starts trading sideways. Same thing right here. This comes back into the cycle. We're in the same world now, trading in the same percentage range. Then it starts to rally. It dumps, rallies again. Different structure here. We have a pump, a fake out, a massive pump, and then it trades sideways for dumping again. So they do different things on the way up, but normally the percentage is very similar. Here, the two are the same. They're exactly the same, 63%. And then AMC the day after goes up about 70. So they are on similar ranges, which is good. And then now, see how they kind of dump together, which is pretty strange. So here they are, back to back. AMC goes up a little bit more, and then they dump together. Ethereum Classic goes up slower. They're trading around the same percentage now. They're in the same cycle, the same world. And now we're waiting for Ethereum Classic to go up or AMC to go up. And here we can see something similar, like they can go up at the same time, and then one starts coming down while the other one is going up, vice versa. And that'll give us a little bit more information. But I think this pullback is healthy, and stocks don't go up forever. So we gotta just chill, wait for this to start climbing back up, and then get ready for that next leg up. I did tell the Discord yesterday that if there is a rejection below the $5 range and we start going into the 470s, then I would take a look and stay a little skeptical for the possibility of a push back down and potentially maybe a projector pattern, which is what we have right now, that comes back down here, looking for a very quick reversal and then start climbing back up again. That would be a fake out bullish scenario. Otherwise, we would see more downside, but you're not going to see downside in 2 days. Like, this has to happen. It would probably take about a week or two to develop. It would probably come back up here, trade sideways, and then break down like that, right? If that's like the bearish scenario here. Yeah, let's talk about Tilray. So Tilray is one that we're tracking right now as well. We have seen a correlation between Tilray as a meme stock and AMC, GameStop, go up together. It is coming down now, and right here where it's currently trading at, it is at support, okay, along with everything else. So looking for a bounce here and a continuation back up. We are in also what is this ascending broadening wedge. So this could start pushing back up here in the next couple of days. It is one we're tracking. We're also tracking Nikola. And this one is, let's see. It's one that I flipped like this. But so Nikola is coming up to once being rejected here, because this is the first time that Nikola crossed resistance in over like 3 years. I'm not exaggerating with that one. We are currently getting very close to these previous levels of support, which is good. We could see a bounce here, and then this is where it starts to rip. Massive FTDs also. I don't look at the dates part, but I do look at that as a way to sort of confirm that there are a lot of shorts piled in on this stock, and there's a lot of them. So coming up here to the 4-hour chart, show you a little bit of why this is important. And do I still have, yeah, I do have these. Awesome. So these that you're looking at here, this is why Nikola is probably going to be one of the craziest plays when it starts to go up. These levels are levels of resistance, and you can see how many there are, right? There's the obviously 96, 97 is the top here. Starts coming down. Now, I'm trying to see what the best way to do this is. Maybe draw a curve. Yeah, maybe drawing some curves here. So the reason why I think what just happened now is going to, or is extremely bullish, is because with these curves that we're looking at here, and by the way, for those that are like, yo, why are we talking about Nikola? Nikola is part of the cycle. It's a meme stock. It tracks AMC and GameStop. All these points of interest that you're looking at here, they go up at the same time. It's relevant. It's going to help us with Amy. I think this is going to make it look a little bit better in why what just happened is important again. So what I'm trying to show you here is these levels of resistance have never been crossed once, okay? The more you narrow down, the worse it gets. For 3 years, none of these were crossed. You keep coming down, and now you get here. Now, this is where it's dangerous territory, because the more you narrow down, the more you have to short this, the more you have to keep it suppressed so that it doesn't do anything bullish on a technical level. And, I mean, you can only imagine how many shorts piled in here and have to release at some point. This is why I think this is going to be a very powerful push to the upside. Now we start to get very close, right? We have these new levels here. Watch this. We have this one here. It's so small. Here it is. That one. This is just crazy, dude. Like, now watch this. First time yesterday, or 2 days ago, I'm sorry, 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? No, it was yesterday. Okay, yesterday was the first time in 3 years that we crossed resistance. Now, you're not going to, yeah, you're going to see it on the chart because it's right here. This is it, right there. Now, look at how quickly it got rejected. This is very important because this is the first chart that bleeds over, and this is why I have these little curve lines here so you can clearly see what's happening. But this is the first chart that bleeds over into resistance. None of them did it except that one. Okay, all of these are straight down, coming straight down. None of these go into the previous level of resistance. This is a very powerful analysis on any TA you do. First time you bleed over it. So this is already confirmation that something is going on here. We're fighting the resistance trend line here, and we're attacking it little by little. So the more we start to get into the zone, the quicker the push is going to be. Why I'm very bullish on Nikola. This is just TA too, man. Like, this is apart from looking at cycle analysis, which is even greater, and the option chain, all that good stuff. But clearly there is something here, and I think it's way overdue. I don't even know like what this is gonna do, man, when it starts to go back up. But if it starts to climb all these levels and crosses them very quickly, I think we're gonna go into a pretty large territory here in the short term. So keep it updated. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys, man. For Nikola. Nikola is it's just it's a time ticking bomb, man. Time ticking bomb. All right. Where's Amy at? All right, so AMC is still trading at 557. Come here today. Yeah, Amy's looking good. All right, let's do something else. I'll pull up something here for you guys. Okay, so for those that were here yesterday, or was it 2 days ago? Yeah, it was 2 days ago that I talked about this, but I'll bring it back up here on screen. All right, so the pattern scanner is out. It's launched. If you guys want access, I have a link. It's on the Discord, so you have to go on the Discord, and that is a way you can log in and use this. So this right here, what it's doing is it's a pattern analyzer. Scans the entire market and finds patterns that are similar, and we do this using a lot of math, man, is involved with this. So to basically find the distance between each stock that is finding here. So we have AMC. This is AMC, and then this is a stock that's already played out, right? So, with cycle analysis, we believe that patterns repeat themselves on all time frames, and this applies to every single interval we use, every single window size that we track here, and it's going to spit out a projection. This is the projection we have. Also, we just fixed. This was I got feedback yesterday on the scanner, and we just fixed the price thing here. So now you can see the price as you move down with the little circle here. So it'll tell you exactly where it's located, at what time, and what the price is trading at, which is really cool. So these are all the ones that we have here. We have Chewy. Look at that, Chewy. And just so you guys know, this one is here. A second. So Chewy right here, this one, the scanner that you're looking at here is updated 2 days ago. So it's the 13th. You can see here it says AMC on the 13th. So you could see the projections and see if they came true. This is Chewy right here. Look at what happens with Chewy on Tuesday here, going into the 17th. Right, this is the 17th here. It goes all the way up and then starts climbing down a little bit. AMC already did this. So Chewy's projection actually came true and started to climb back up. Most of these were calling for upside as well. The ones that were highly correlated and had a larger strength level called for that upside, right? We have this one calling for upside. We have Chewy calling for upside. And we had Oxy calling for upside. All of these came true literally the day after. So we have AMC. We can track AMC on the hour chart. That's going to give us something a little bit different. Now, the hour chart is updating, and it's up to date from yesterday. So this one, you're going to clearly see the correlation with it. Here is one of the patterns it's tracking. We have this other one. We have MNKD. These two. You could zoom out a little bit too and see what that structure is developing into. Anyways, this is like, I use this every single day to scan patterns in the market. Depending on the interval you use, extremely helpful. Crypto's coming out soon. Crypto is insane. I've already tested it. It's not on the website because of certain reasons, but that will be out as well. And you can track crypto. And if you're one of those crypto traders, this is going to be extremely helpful. If you want to test this, the beta is out. So join the Discord, and you guys can test it out there. Give me some feedback, all right? Because we're trying to fix it up. All right, I'll take some stocks, man. If you guys want, give me some stocks, and we can try this out. Let me pull you guys up here real quick because I can't see the chat. Here we go. Yeah, give me some stocks and we'll look something up here. I'm going to put this right here in the middle. All right, so Melinda wants BlackBerry. Let's look at the BlackBerry. So this is the projection we have for BlackBerry. Here are all of them together. And the cool thing about this is that you do get kind of an average, compared to all the stocks with the strength levels, right? The higher the strength, obviously, the more correlated it is. But this is just one interval. We can play around with all the intervals and all the window sizes. They're going to spit out something different. So this is the 90 window size. That means that there's 90 data points that it's collecting, and it's finding patterns with those 90 data points. And here's a projection. So it's calling for a little bit of downside. We switch the window size. We're going to get something else. Okay, calling for a little bit more downside. The 180. The 180 is pretty powerful because it's scanning for more data. So the more accurate the pattern is, for example, this one now has data from way back here, and it is calling for more upside. Okay, that one. This one's calling for more upside. And some of them are not going to be as accurate because, not every pattern that you scan in the market, the more you go up, the lower the strength is going to be because there's more data points it has to scan for. So that's why sometimes the daily here is just the way to go. It's daily on the 90 or 45. It's going to be really nice. I like this one here. Actually, all of these look very similar. Look at that. Most of them look the same. Here's the structure. It is calling for more upside in the next couple of days. And here it is, the entire chart. Let's see what the 180 looks like. Ooh. We did scan GameStop the other day, and it was calling for massive upside in the next, month or so. Here's another one, Tiva. VXRT, look at that. That's Oh, dude, this is the one that GameStop was tracking. So the fact that both of these are picking it up, let's see what GameStop looks like. Yep, here it is. And now with GameStop, it's actually a different stock. It's 9. It's a different stock, but they're calling for the same thing, which is pretty insane. Look at that. I mean, this is just crazy, dude. GameStop. Now, this program is not meant to. It's not meant to tell you whether a stock is going to go up or down. It's meant to just help at the end of the day with the analysis you're already doing. These are patterns that, yes, they look very similar and they're very accurate in that they can keep following and they have before, but there's many different patterns that are pointing in different direction, right? So you do have to look at the historical pattern as well and see what's happening before that, because the more data you have, the more historical data you have, and the more it lines up with the current chart here, the overlay of that pattern, and the higher the chances that it's going to fully play out. I'm telling you, I've been using this for a lot of different stocks, and it's already predicted many things. Let's do the SPY. Let's do the market here. Okay, we're on the 1 hour, 90. And the 180. Sometimes it won't pick up the 180 on the daily chart for indices because of the scanning data. Sometimes indices do have a lot of different, a lot more data, and the program here can't run it. We have to change some values, so we're still working on that. But look at this. So this is Boeing. You can see the structure here comes up. It starts coming down. This is actually what the market did, and then it starts climbing back up again. And look at this, bro. All of them were calling for downside. Okay, not one. I think there was one that was calling for upside. That's it. The rest were calling for downside. And then we have downside. Now this got picked up here today, so yeah, this got picked up today. On the 90, you're going to see something else. On the 90, it's going to call for, well, this one did call for a little bit of downside as well. Very accurate. And now the 15-minute is calling for upside. Look at that. A lot of different, yeah. Ooh. Like in the 15-minute. All right, I'll take more stocks. Give me some more stocks, bro. Ape. You guys want ape? I'll give you ape. Now, ape, you can't use 180 because it doesn't have enough data, right? We look at where it stops here. It stops on the 90 day mark. So it won't give me, if I try to do 180, it's going to say we can't do that. So it counts for that, which is normal. Can even try the 40, 45. Now for Ape, I would actually do the 1 hour because of how much data it's missing, or not missing, but that doesn't have. So I'm going to do the 1 hour. So overall, it is calling for, on an average, it is calling for upside. 45. Yeah, even 45 is calling for upside as well. Ooh, I like this one. Comes up, comes back down, and then it keeps climbing back up. TKC, same thing. Almost the same pattern. Look, TKC and SFIX, almost the same pattern. Upstart. Look at that. Upstart. Calling for upside as well. There, I am going to have a section here that you can adjust the forecast. So if you want a little bit more data on the forecast, it might be able to spit that out. Also, the cool thing about this, I don't know if it'll do it on, it probably won't do it on the hour. Pretty sure it does it on the daily though. See how like the values down here also change? So it gives you like a pattern. Now you won't be able to see it with Ape because it's, the data is so slim, it's so small. And the graph is going to be a little bit bigger as well. Here, let's do Tilray. Here it is, Tilray. I love this one. Hitting all these levels, comes back up, comes back down. And look, so just so you guys know this works, all right, and this is not just a random pattern. Let's go ahead and pull it up. So we got Wingstop here from November 12th of 2020, okay? So let's do Wingstop. Yeah, November 12th of 2020 till May, right here, May somewhere. So I'm actually going to pull up more data because I want that projection, right? I want that forecast. So we grab that, we copy it, and then we go back to Tilray. All right, this is the chart pattern that we just looked at here. We paste it, and now I have myself my little projection. Now, are these levels the same? Are they not the same? What's going on? What do we got here? There it is. Isn't that awesome? Now, this is how you know, like, why we can see this pattern continue to track is because, say you took it from this point on here, would have called for downside following this structure, called for downside, and then here right away you get upside, right? You get that upside, starts climbing back up, and then potentially can come all the way up to that 430 range by mid-February before it starts coming back down again. So I like this pattern. I'm going to keep it here for reference, and if it keeps tracking, then I know that there is more correlation involved with this, and, you know, I don't just take one pattern and track that. I mean, I go over the entire interval list. I have different ways of customizing it as well, which will be available in the future. But for now, again, we're just beta testing this. So we want to make sure that it's good to go before it's completely published out for everybody, right? All right, let's do... Let's do more here, bro. Yeah, let's do Paramount. Professor, we can do Paramount. I mean, just look at that, man. Look at that accuracy. All right, here's Paramount. Let's see overall what we got. We have, this is where I like zoom out and I take a look at all the different projections and see where it's likely headed next and where we can spot some of the points of interest. So here right off the bat, I can see a little bit of sideways trading for a little bit of time, about a week or so, and then potentially some upside. So all of them are calling for, even this green one down here, you can see it still calls for upside, sideways trading first, very similar to BBDO. Okay, so both of these have, this one has the highest strength, so it's the most correlated with it, and you do have this quadruple bottom setup, which is kind of what Nicola's doing right now. This is the daily chart on the 90 window size. We also have 180 available, so let's see what 180 is doing. Ooh. Okay, so strength 90. A little bit of sideways, sideways, sideways. So all of these calling for a little bit of sideways trading. Some are calling for upside. 45. And then here we are seeing a little bit of, yeah, just overall, I would say for Paramount, we're either looking for another leg down to create a quadruple bottom, or a little bit more sideways trading. Let's do 1 hour 45. And then 15-minute. 15-minute is probably the one that's always going to have the best. Between the 15 and the 1 hour, we're going to see better R values. 1 hour is actually has, man, these are crazy how 1 hour R values are extremely similar here. Ooh, look at that. We got our little blue pattern, AMC, developing right here. DWAC. Digital World Acquisition Corporation. It can't do the 180, but it can do the 45. So most of these are calling for sideways price action, except FYBR. Now, you do have to remember, when there are a lot of these stocks that just are calling for sideways trading, and collectively, like all together, remember the market moves fairly the same all the way through. Like whenever the market is in periods of volatility, that is where you could see if these are valid or not, because if they're all pointing up or they're all pointing down, that's more correlation for downside or upside. So you have to like look at those not individually but like collectively together. And here we're seeing a lot of sideways trading, which is kind of expected now that the market sort of reached this level that it was rejected at, and it might just trade sideways for a little bit. But that doesn't mean that we can't get, for example, we are in the meme sector right now cycle, which means that a lot of these meme stocks do tend to go up. DWAC is not really part of the, it is part of the, like, you could put it in the meme sort of sector, but it doesn't go up on the POIs. It doesn't go up on the AMC, GameStop, Nikola Tilray POIs. So this one would be on something else. And we also did see some volatility on Friday. So that's why I would see this sort of just chilling for a little bit. All right, guys. So again, if you want access, click the link below. Go ahead and talk about Amy real quick. 557 still, man. 557. What else is going on here? Gonna have to watch out for this little parallel zone here, man. You know what this kind of reminds me of too? Like, not saying it looks like it, like perfect or anything, but like you can take AMC's entire chart. Oh no. And I guess what I wanted to sort of focus on here, just went on the 4 minute goofy. More than anything is this here. So the reason I'm pulling this up, guys, here is so we can look at the levels, not the pattern. The pattern here does not look anything alike, but what it does look alike to here is, you know how we look at the parallel channel that we come back into every year? See how we come out for like quite some time, we come back in, we come out, we come back in, we trade sideways, and then here we either come out of the parallel zone, and this is where I would be looking at for some potential, for a potential push here, continuation. This is, you know, if we start climbing back up here and start to rally or whatever, I mean, it'd be interesting to look at it from this chart here, because we are coming to a point where we can just you know, it can be a parabolic push. But yeah, this is interesting. Come back in, come back out. Yeah. Nano wants to rally with the family. Hey, me too, me too. You know, we did rally a little bit the other day. I'm hoping to see this thing just freaking pop right now, dude. You know, that megaphone is not out of question, man. Not yet. We got a little megaphone here. This is more of a joke, guys, but it's I mean, just look at this massive like wedge, megaphone wedge. Like, dude, if I mean, again, this is just a joke, but if AMC actually ran up like this, that would be pretty crazy, bro. Here's our little parallel zone again. Some of these levels. Yeah, let's talk about this real quick. So I didn't really, I didn't really cover this that well. I just showed you guys the projection, but a little date range here, 120 days. We come in and out of this channel for 120 days before we come back in. How many days has it been? Look at that, bro. 120 days. We come out of the channel. And do we come back in or not? Why are we getting very close to this point of interest? Remember, 120 days is the second most important cycle on AMC. First is obviously AMC's cycle. I mean, we can't, like the 2 month cycle, and these both go together. I mean, it's the only thing is the 4 month cycle works a little different because that one applies more to TA more than anything. The 62 months or the 62 day cycle just gives us a volatility zone. That's all it's doing, but it's a lot more accurate in that. The 4-month cycle is specifically showing us these ranges that we normally remain in. So here we're in the parallel zone. Here we're outside the support zone. Here we're inside the parallel zone again. Here we are in the support zone before falling out. And then here we are in this outside parallel zone. So you can see here the correlation between them. It's 120 days, and we're getting very close to that mark here. It's after, let's see, at this point it would already be like, it would start climbing up very quickly. So another way to track this, man, not just the indicators, but this is part of this cycle analysis, is that that we've been outside for 120 days and we're about to start climbing back up if it finishes the sequence. So I'm going to take this pattern again and show you guys what 120 days looks like over here. And there it is, right? And what's starting to happen now? I'm showing you guys the 120 days outside of that zone. It's showing you more upside here. Doesn't have to happen this way, but the correlation here is pretty freaking accurate. And the fact that, we had this tracking back here on June 3rd, and we're starting to see that take place, just makes this a lot more likely to actually happen. Pretty crazy, man. Yeah, SPY just is about to go green, bro. SPY just said, nah, I'm good, bro. That's literally what it just said. It said, nah, I'm good. I'm not going back in. We're going green today. The market's to rally. Man, what a ride. What a ride. Here are the POIs. Cycle POIs. You got all the little rallies we had on AMC. There it is. These are all the points of interest that have played out on AMC, all which are at least 60 or at least 120 days apart as they happen. Or on that interval, you have to be tracking it on that interval, meaning that these can only be apart by 62 days. So this one, for example, on the point of interest, 62 from the start, 62. And this one right here is 120. So you can see you're just doubling the math every time. The same thing back here, 120. And then this one, let's see, clone. This one right here has way more. Or actually so this one is 120, 120, and then half. So 62. There it is. So see, these all add up, and that's why the cycle works, because they all add up to at least 62 or 120, 61. The range is between 58 and 64, and then 118 and 124. Those are, the reason for that is because the date's rolling over. But that's a really large window that you can't really fuck up. Like, that's why this shit's so freaking crazy to me, is because this is 5 out of 5, guys. 5 out of 5 that we've seen rallies on AMC. The way you can sort of confirm this here too is using volume and using the PFV indicator. That clearly shows us that. Everything else is just noise. There's not much going on. And then you have these larger sort of bumps here on the cycle. And then this one right here is where it all started. So it's going to be very small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the cycle. And that is it, my guys. That is it. All right, 558. 558. Maddie, thank you, man, and thank you for taking that journey along with the squad and everybody here, man. You guys are in it. We're in it together here. The whole AMC's looking great, man. I really like the setup. Really like the setup. 1, 2. I would love to see something like that, man, develop. We're 560 now. Mara's on its way back up, like we talked about. Yeah, this is the 5 hour too, man. 5 hour, 4 hour. Ooh, man, the 5 hour looks good. 5 hour. I'm loving the 5 hour, bro. The candles on the 5 hour look pretty dope. All right, let's see where else we can find this pattern. The pattern scanner is going to give us a lot of different patterns, but it's not scanning crypto yet, and I get a lot of my patterns here on crypto. So let's go ahead and pull over. Let's do Ethereum Classic and kind of go back on the charts and see where else, apart from this that we're looking at here. I want to see where else we can find AMC right here. This is the structure of this. And I'm going to go on the 7 hour for crypto. Huh. Most of these. Let's try Doge. Man, we get some with Doge too, man. Guess we got ourselves a nice little unique pattern on Amy. Even though, I mean, it is a unique pattern, but it's. Yeah, dude. Man, this is looking so good. All right, let's do what other freaking crypto can we look at right now? I'm gonna give us one that's gonna be correlate, like pretty correlate, highly correlated with AMC. There are many, dude. There's a lot. I was just tracking one the other day that was like I was actually tracking AMC for it. Uh I will say I think this is the closest one that we're gonna get right now. And I think we'll pull this one up. So let's see, October 22nd. Huh? I mean the levels are right. The levels are definitely right here. The structure of it is not, but the levels are. So, levels to me are way more important. You have to have some kind of structure, but the levels are way more important. It's one of the things the pattern scanner actually scans for is the distance. So distance is key, my guy. Distance is key. All right, there's one. Let's keep tracking some, man. Let's find more. Gala. You know what's actually pretty insane? Gala here, bro, here looks a lot like Ethereum Classic. Here, bro. Oh, 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 oh. Wait a minute. Okay, so that's okay. This is an issue though, because sure, this pattern looks great. It looks the same, but we have a massive gap right here, which is not good. It follows the same direction, yes, but there's a gap. I'm gonna keep this here just in case. I can love patterns, bro. Patterns are a hack. Batsy bat. Batsy bat. Bat, where you at? I think it was Zill. Yeah, it might have been Zill, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what it looks like on the 4 hour. No. LDO maybe? Oh, this is what it was. Okay, I got it, bro. I found it. Bro. Look at this, bro. Look at how insane this is. You guys are gonna be like, bro, look at how crazy this is. I'm going to pull it up to like right here. Yeah. Watch. Watch. Look at this shit. Look. Yo. What up, bro? Patterns don't repeat themselves? Yep. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. All right. So for this, patterns, they act like fractals. Once you find a match, which this is a clear match, man. If I guarantee you, if I was on the pattern scanner and I had crypto in there, it would scan this one. And it would find it. It would tell me, hey, AMC is tracking this right here. Now, here it stops giving up, but this is still important. It's still valid because part of this sequence here is extended. So the levels here are still valid, and I still track the levels even though the pattern itself is not tracking anymore. Okay? So this would be calling for the $9 level as well. Following this down here. Yeah, I'm going to keep that there as well. But that was a pattern that, yeah, that was the same pattern we were tracking. Holy shit, man. This is ENJ, man. ENJ, this thing was like crazy yesterday, bro. This thing pumps, dumped with the entire market. Was definitely used for liquidity to dump the market, and this was used for liquidity to pump it. Here, watch. It's clear, bro. I mean, like, it's freaking clear. This thing rallies, trades sideways, and then dumps the entire market right here. The entire market, and then it starts to pump again, and now it's using liquidity to pump the market. They use it for both ways. Just because it happens, just because it's going up doesn't mean that the market is going to come down. It's just they want more money to be able to do whatever they want with the actual market. Amy's looking good though, bro. Like it's about a cross here. It's about a cross resistance at 570. If it keeps pushing up, if we cross resistance today and close green, it's gonna be really good. Really good for Amy. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut the stream here. Update the Discord. Yeah, if you guys want to join, man, click the link below. I sent some trades and stuff. This January has been really nice. It's been a really nice return overall on some of the plays. Just a little bit about the Discord so you guys know I do send about 3 trades per day on average. I try not to send many. I like to specialize on the trades I send, and most of these have to do with the POIs that are posted every week on the website. So yeah, they're trades, and they're crypto leverage trades, but most of them are going to be options that I look into, and obviously it's never financial advice. It's just my approach through the lens of TWE. That is what it is, and yeah, that's what you get. So you get that, and then you also get all these nice freaking indicators, bro. We just crossed blue spots indicator, copycat, and FPV, my dude. These are all cycle indicators I made on TradeView. You get all these. You get the Discord alerts. You get a freaking awesome community in there. Really amazing group of individuals in that chat, and they're amazing people, and it wouldn't be the same without them. So really awesome Discord. And now we have the pattern scanner that I just showed you guys, which is amazing. It's the newest addition to it. So a nice little package, man. Really cool stuff. So check it out. Yeah, it's in the link below, and would love to have you guys in there in the community, chilling out, having fun. and all that good stuff. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy trades. AMC's looking great. Bye bye.